Hey, what's going on? It's Scott at Scott Doty TV, here to equip you to be an awesome asset to your kids' educational experience. Thank you for checking in today. I'm excited to speak with you here in part 2 of our little series on Thanksgiving. Now, last time we established the fact that entitlement is not awesome and that there's a lot of it happening in society. We also established that the antidote to entitlement, the antonym of entitlement, is appreciation, gratitude, understanding that things are finite and valuable. Today, we're going to explore how to establish a better culture of appreciation in the household and in daily habits. Remember, we also established that appreciation on a daily basis to others and for our gifts and for things that we're experiencing in life often is a big part of our overall success in life and at school, in grades, in tests, in social interactions. Coming from a place of thankfulness leads to a mindset of abundance and to a motivated internal dialogue that keeps you pushing forward so that you can storm that test. So today I want to give you some ideas. How can we make this something that we do every day? Okay? Now, I'm going to give you 4 ideas. Okay? Here they come. Idea number 1, use the first definition of appreciation to establish the second. Remember, the first definition of appreciate is to understand and to recognize that something has finite value, that it's valuable but it is scarce, that it isn't infinite. And the second definition is to therefore understanding something add value to it, to let value accrue over time, to allow it to appreciate and expand and be enhanced. So there are 2 interesting things here, witnessing and experiencing. How can those students learn about the finite value of things through witnessing? Well, there's some really good examples, really good ideas, things that I've experienced. I've had a lot of jobs. I've had internships. I have done missions trips. I have done community service in my local community and in the broad community of the globe. And in all those experiences, I have seen firsthand that other people have lacked things that historically I used to take for granted. That's why give your kids chores, give your kids work, get them into internships, get them involved in community service. They will witness humanity's needs and they will take fewer things for granted. Now, how can you help your student to experience lack, to experience the fact that some things that are valuable, they're not around all the time for all human beings? Here's an interesting story. I went to college in Boston. And Boston, if you didn't know this, gets kind of cold in the winter and a little miserable and dark and gray all the time. Now, my sophomore year, I had a friend named Susie who introduced me to a guy named Mike. And we were all walking across the campus this cold winter night. And Mike, I noticed, was wearing only 1 glove. And I said, Mike, what's going on, man? Where's the other glove? Why are you only wearing 1? And he said, you know what, Scott? Because this reminds me that not everybody has 2 gloves. That not everybody has everything that I have. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's a really interesting thing to do. He forced upon himself lack unnecessarily. He had 2 gloves, but he chose only to wear 1 because he decided that would send him a signal to remind him to be thankful. I thought that was really powerful. And this brings a topic up called false scarcity or artificial scarcity. Artificial scarcity is setting up the lack of something unnecessarily. You actually have that thing available, but you hide it and you hold back on it. Why? Because it forces the value of that thing to increase. It appreciates the value of that thing. Infamously, De Beers has done this for decades with diamonds. It has a huge stash of diamonds, but it only puts out so many into the marketplace, thereby forcing the prices really high for that very scarce commodity. Governments do this in some of their economic policies, and certainly other businesses do this with handbags and everything else to make something feel scarce and thereby drive the price up. Consider this theory and apply it to other parts of life. Right? How can we help our students to really get it? Some things really matter and they're valuable, and not everyone has them. And certainly not all the time. You might want to be a little creative in creating some artificial lack some artificial scarcity in certain aspects of your child's life to help him to learn that it's real and it's valuable. From my experience in the world of academic mentoring, parents who did this very tough love kind of thing, it kind of paid off in big ways where kids really got it and they became a whole new level of motivated, awesome workers. A second idea for creating more gratitude in the household on a daily level is to institute Sean Akers' 23-minute morning ritual. I'll put a link at the bottom of this page so you can do some further reading. But one of the things that Sean recommends, and he's a happiness psychology expert, he says that one of the things we should do every day is to simply be grateful for 3 things and to write them down. 3 things for which I am thankful. And we write it down, and in so doing, we develop a habit of being attentive to the positive things that are happening to us in our daily life. Ideas 3 and 4 I have wrapped together into a video. In my little minute and a half or so video that you're going to see here, I hit on 2 major things that I do to increase my daily feeling of appreciation. Want what you already have from the Stoics, and toilet bowls. That's right. Have a listen. I learned appreciation from a lot of people, but one source is the Stoics from ancient Greece, who taught that one of the great sources of happiness in life is to want what you already have, rather than to pine for what you don't have. So, the thing that I always use to help me do that is I think of a TED Talk I saw recently that talked about the importance of the toilet bowl.
When I asked that question, I learned something, and that was that I'd grown up thinking that a toilet like that was my right, when in fact, it's a privilege. 2.5 billion people worldwide have no adequate toilet. They don't have a bucket or a box. 40% of the world with no adequate toilet.
I mean, we're talking about thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of kids dying every year because they don't have a simple toilet. And so I always begin there. I have a toilet in my home, and I am so thankful for it. And I always use that as my launching point into thinking of things that I'm thankful for that I already have. Well, there you have it. Today's quick overview on how to create more of a culture and understanding around the finite value of things in our world, and hopefully to then use that as a catalyst for academic excellence and growth. All right, I hope this has equipped you to be an awesome asset to your kids' educational process. Now, if you wouldn't mind, if you'd be so kind, please, if you have questions or comments, put them below on this page, on the Scott Doty TV page, and sign up. Join. I'd love to keep you informed along the way as this continues to expand. I'd love you to be part of the journey with us. And while you're at it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please, greatest gift of all, pass this on to a few friends, 3, 4, 5 friends, and cherry pick them and say, they're going to really get a lot out of this video. Let's send it on over to them. Thank you so much for doing so. And thank you again for watching Scott Doty TV. It's my honor and my pleasure to work with you and to serve you in this way. I hope you find it helpful. And until next time, I'm signing off. I'll talk to you soon.